Cool. Okay, so any loud rasping you hear in the background is, as usual, my dog. He's got some fresh bones tonight. They should keep him busy. He's been out for a run. He's been out for several potty breaks. He's eaten. He's been played with. He should be reasonably okay for probably like a half hour. Um, so I'll give this a few minutes for people to show up and whatnot. There's nothing terribly interesting. He hasn't done much with his stories, but he's been manic posting memes. And I've had a Karen-filled day, so I think I'm going to take it out on Lucas. It seems like a good outlet. Oh, you were really loud with your teeth tonight, buddy. Did not anticipate his chewing being being quite that loud, but hey, why not? Okay, so oh look, there's at least one. Yeah, yeah. This was I actually noticed this one first when Walter reposted it to Kiwi Farms, but I mean, I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a wife anymore either. And honestly, those are not issues for me. I'm glad to not have those things, and I'm okay not having those things. Um, and I will fully admit that I understand the concept of people being lonely. But the problem with Lucas, it's always the problem with Lucas. The problem with Lucas is he doesn't think he should have to go through the friendship stage or the getting to know someone stage. He's got this really childlike, I don't even know what, like childlike thought process that he's going to find love at first sight and they're just going to automatically be compatible in anything. That's not how relationships build and work. You start out as friends. Actually, well, you start out as acquaintances, and then typically you move on to friendship, and then friendship either goes one of two ways. It stays a friendship, which is perfectly fine. There is no such thing as a friend zone. If you think there's such a thing as a friend zone, you're an incel. That's just the long and short of it. You're just a fucking incel, and you need to stop. Or it can develop into a more romantic relationship, and Lucas doesn't want to put in the time or the effort. He just like a big old greedy hairy. Oh, huts aren't even hairy. That's not even a nice comparison. Like a big old greedy hut. He just wants the end game without having to put in any of the work. And yeah, I don't have a. He doesn't want a mom figure. He wants a mommy he can fuck, who's younger than him. He's talked about thinking his mom was attractive before, and we're not gonna go into that because that's gross. Boy, apparently I can't see my screens today. Where the fuck is my mouse? There we go. So his rapid fire posting today has been a lot of going back and forth between weird memes and memes that are stolen and memes that just like don't make sense. Like, okay, this is stupid. And this is you can tell Lucas has like never had a real job in his entire life. Um, or that he's never lived under a dictatorship because even like the shittiest businesses are run to an extent cooperatively because if you can't get cooperation out of the people you're working with, you don't get a damn thing done, even in really toxic, horrible work environments. Whatever. Lucas, you're an idiot. That says too many words. Oh, he's just quoting the Declaration of Independence again. Okay, whatever, Lucas. Communism would be someone coming to power and saying that McDonald's now belongs to the workers at that specific McDonald's, not the way the Soviets did it by making everyone government-owned peasants. Oh, I see he's lost his infatuation with Stalin then. That's also not what communism would be like, but why am I not surprised his first thoughts went to McDonald's? You know, for as much as he talks about, I know why he talks about McDonald's. And doesn't order. He used to work briefly at a McDonald's. Um, yeah, Lucas definitely has a thing for his mom. He's mentioned before that he thinks she's attractive, and I don't think that he means it in the nice way. Like, oh yeah, my mom's pretty. I love my mom. It's like no, like Chris Chan thinks his mom is pretty. Fuck load. Josh Weed is, generally wrong on this one here. The divorce rate is around 50% because women can actually leave now. They can have their own bank accounts. They can rent their own apartments. They don't have to put up with bullshit from men like Lucas or John Weed. That's a very, very performative meme he reposted. Lucas pretending he's not racist. Stolen quotes that. Now we get to start looking at Lucas's face. So, you know what? Enjoy. This one always this face that he makes here with this particular angle and this level of editing, because we know his face ain't that slim. He looks like a bean, like a really hairy bean. Let's see. Capitalism functions on genocide, not entirely. Exploitation to a degree. Destruction, not always. Greed, again, not always. Terrorism, you're thinking of the government. And you see little doses of each one in everyone who supports capitalism. I'd like to see his face just like stick like that, where he just looks like a bargain bin version of a Metallica member. That same face again. No, it won't. Communism will come when people realize that their surplus labor is being stolen. They already know that. And given to the owner who does less work. I don't know. The company I work for, the owner legitimately does as much, if not more, work than everybody else and works through several different departments than everyone else at the business, which is true of all profit-generating businesses. It is not. And half of what makes what could be good points and valid points that he would make here, he just fucks it up by jumping to absolutes. That's Sith only deals in absolutes. Whatever. When you deal in absolutes, you're going to be wrong 100% of the time. Oh, look at that. It was an absolute. If the owner cared about the employees that run their business on the cooperative model, well, we've got like 5 cooperative grocery stores here, so, okay. Rather than a hierarchy that screws over the hardest working employees, again, not always true, which are also the least paid employees. Again, not true. He doesn't seem to have the ability to differentiate between large corporations and small businesses, and that is, well, his brains aren't very smart. Yeah, she lives states away for a reason. Hi, puppy. Why don't you go back to your bone? Yeah, hello. What do you need? Do you suddenly need me? You don't suddenly need my attention. Go back to your bone. What is this face? I mean, at least he leaves it. And he still slims his face in these. His face is not that slim. Lucas, we all know your face isn't that slim. Capitalism is shady and violent, and the people that always love capitalism often come. Like, this expression that he's making doesn't even match the words. He posted a ton of these today, but apparently only took 3 selfies. And I'm not going to get into the COVID fucking mess. That'll just get me off on a rant. I hate that face. The boss examines and judges your work, which isn't work compared to your work. If the business owner cared about you, that organized their business. He's clearly never worked a job in his life if he thinks that that's all a boss does. Or if he thinks that other people don't need to double check and judge your work. Nobody's work is going to be perfect. I have been in the same field since 1997, and I still prefer having other people check my work, especially if it's high-level complicated work, because sometimes you just miss shit. Oh, but not Lucas. He's perfect. He's never had to write anything beyond a rough draft. That shows. What is this face? He just looks like a hairy spider. And I'm not going to argue with that. There were companies I worked at when people would complain about morale or about the working conditions. Management's option was to, give us pizza parties or say we could have, Pajama Friday or bullshit like that. I've worked at companies like that. It actually is legitimately horrible. That's not...